Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Discussing Tabletop. It is, of course, April 4th, 2020. We are on a, oh god, what episode number are we on? I saw it a second ago and I'm forgetting. 144. Working towards that 150 number. That's like, 3-4 years we've been doing this. But we keep going. We're chugging through. If you're joining us for the first time, we talk about the tabletop news of the week. Me and Joe here just kind of discuss it. Sometimes get guests on, sometimes get other folks on. But how's life been in quarantine, Joe?
Played a lot of Kingmaker.
I'm stuck with family a lot more than I would like to be. So if random small child runs in at some point in time, yells, it's normal for a Saturday, but we might, get it extra. Stir craziness.
Stream knees.
It still is not good enough to really play outside yet, and that's the problem. But if you're joining us for the tabletop stuff, we do have a couple of topics to hit on today. We're going to start by talking about Ikoria. We talked a little bit about it last week with the change in the release schedule, but we now have some of the looks at some of the cards and some of the interesting things that are going on with it. So we'll talk about that. Then Shadowrun is releasing an activity book, they call it, which I call a coloring book. And then Modiphius did put out 2 books, which you can get in PDF form. Conan the Wanderer, because we haven't talked about a good Conan book in forever. And you know what? Part of me missed it. I think we mentioned the other week that we mentioned it one time. We were talking about how, we always loved talking about a good, weird Conan book. And then, of course, they released Devil's Run, the RPG core book. Let's start talking about magic, though. So, we've seen our first things about Ikoria. So the first thing is, I did see the trailer for Ikoria, and they use too much licensed music, I think, in their trailers. They didn't do that in War of the Spark, but they did it in this one. I can't remember. I don't know the name of the songs, but it's an actual song that you'd hear on the radio kind of song. And I'm like, you didn't need that. Just have some epic music. It doesn't fit. And the thing that was revealed at the end of that is that Magic has done a license with Toho, the people that do Godzilla. So there will be cards that will have the likeness of Godzilla. Now
Godzilla!
I know. So, from what I've seen, this is the... I heard some with this news announcement that this isn't the first license that Wizards has done. And the problem that I don't know about those other licenses is they were limited time promotions. They did one for Transformers for a convention, and they did I think it was a My Little Pony one for charity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, these were limited promos.
Right.
These are more I guess they're technically alternate art in a way. Because if you look, I was looking into the variants, and the fact is what a lot of these are just the card statistics match a card that's already in the set.
Yeah. And
it just has the art on it. Which is kind of I really hate to say it, that feels very comp-outy.
But it also, I mean, when you're looking at them on the one page, it says the BioQuartz Space Godzilla. Yeah. Underneath it says Brokos Aspect of Forever.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the card that it's associated with, and that's the alternative version of it.
If you're looking at the because they have a bunch of these in the variants section of the card image gallery. They have a Yudara Wandering Monster variant, but then they have the Godzilla Doom Inevitable, which says Yara Wandering Monster under there too, and has the exact same abilities.
Right. And then you also have some of the cards that are only going to be Japan only.
Yeah, which they've only
Mecha Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. And
which is aka the Crystalline Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mysterious Egg.
Yeah, which I think they're doing Mothra's Egg for that one. I mean, it's interesting that they're doing this, that we, seeing these kind of, like, alternates. it's interesting to like... What's a great way of saying this? It's neat that they're doing a license like this that is more for, like, the art and stuff. And the art is fine. And as I said, like, I think it's will only be exclusive to Japan from their announcement.
Right.
Though some of them might be only shown in Japanese now. But other than that, I mean, I'm a big Godzilla fan, so this is the kind of thing that I'm like, I might just buy them. This is the kind of thing I might just buy, in comparison, because they're going to be part of their collector's packs, which the last 2 sets, their collector's packs, I thought they were not worth it whatsoever.
Yeah.
At least for my wallet.
Well, I also know you're a big fan of giant monsters and Godzilla in general.
Yes.
So this is right up your...
The first convention I went to by choice, because I did go to some Star Trek conventions because my parents drugged me there, was a Godzilla convention in New York, which it was very tiny, but I was very happy to go there. And I still probably have somewhere some of those VHSs that I got there, which were poorly subbed versions of some of those Godzilla movies that, like, didn't come out here for quite a number of years. Now, they are...
Bootlegs.
They were very bootleg. I'm sorry. The entire fan sub thing for anime is technically bootleg because they're just putting, stuff on it. Nowadays, they do it a lot for, like, they're like, we'll take, I think they have, like, donations or Patreon, so they're not directly selling stuff, and then they just put them out for free. And that's how they kind of get away with things a lot more nowadays. But back in the day, you had to buy VHSs. I have a pile of VHSs to my side here, which are all, like, anime that I got in the mail. I got that in the mail. But, getting back to this one, I mean, I think it's a neat thing. It's an interesting license to choose, and it does fit along with the entire, like, Ikoria, like, Layer of the Beast and stuff.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite, not cards that aren't in the transitioned realm to the Godzilla universe, though, is Classification.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the artwork on it is awesome, it's just a freaking Colossus cat. It's a Colossus house cat.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just think is awesome, but it's... 2 green mana, 5 colors. It's an enchant aura, enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, you tap enchanted creature, and it gets +20/+20.
Yeah. That's...
Now, yes, you could also do that to your Godzilla and just make it really ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I also find it funny that their own set has their own version of King Kong with Kolga, the Titan Ape.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. I'm just like, okay then.
No, what's really funny is if in the section of, like, where they're talking about the story on the cards, they have a little thing by Vienna Reed's field notes for, like, some of the legendary ones. It's like, and it says, a small flotilla of military soldiers attempted to rescue a young woman from a giant primate. They were embarrassed when they realized the woman was a bonder. It gets bonded to the giant ape. So it was like skyships trying to rescue, on the tower. It really was King Kong, and it's great. So, the big thing about this is there seems to be, like, 3 main... one returning ability, that cycling is going to have something here. Oh, and then there's going to be 3 things that we're seeing. First off is counters. They're talking about, like a good example is, like, Wingfold Paradon. No, let's go to that Colossal... Crystal Colossus, because that's the most weird one of them all. Crystalline Giant. At the beginning of combat your turn, you choose a type of counter at random that it doesn't have on it. From Flying, First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Lifelink, Menace, Rampage, Reach, Trample, Vigilance, or +1/+1. So they're now making that if you're giving something an ability, theoretically you can give it in counter form. I don't know if it's good or bad. Now, this one I've heard is, like, somebody commented on Twitter that this is a headache because it's like, what kind of dice is that? Is that D10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's a D10.
Yeah.
So you have to have a D10 for Crystalline Giant now. Just specifically for this card, you need a D10.
And then there's Mutate, which is a new ability.
If you cast the spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-humanoid creature you own. They mutate into the creature on top, plus all abilities from under it. So that's kind of weird. It's effectively, I think what it is like, you're almost using one or the other as an enchantment?
Yeah.
Some of them work with it, like the Mysterious Egg, which you mentioned. This creature mutates, put a +1/+1 counter in it. It's a 0/2. So if you mutated it with, let's say, one of the legendaries, it would gain their abilities, but it would be a 0/2 with a +1/+1 counter. But the thing is, some of these say you could mutate it over top of it, which I don't know, unless some of these things have that you get something for it. I don't see why. And also the thing that confuses me is the Huntmaster Liger. I get it.
Yeah, now. I'm looking at that right now. Whenever this creature mutates, other creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of times this creature has been mutated.
Yeah, which means that really is one that pertains to going below something. But the problem is, you also have some of these mutate things which are more expensive, so it's why would I mutate to under something kind of thing? Why am I paying the mutate cost unless it gets something for mutating?
Well, Dirge Bat.
Yeah.
Its mutate cost is 2 black, 4 colorless. But whenever this creature mutates, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls.
So, I mean, that makes sense that you're paying an extra cost for an extra ability.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, but there's definitely... Yeah,
Gem Mazer, when you mutate it, it destroys a target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah. The legendary ones, with their mutate costs, they are more expensive. And at least one of them, the Borikos Apex Forever, it makes sense because it's you can cast it from your graveyard using its mutate ability.
I was just looking at that one. I'm like, ooh, Apex Forever. You get to replay it with the mutate.
So, the other ability that I saw here, which really confuses me, the mutate here, I can see how they want to use it, but it also is weird because in order to get the mutate, you have to put it over top of things, so you have to have a card. No, there's Godzilla in Magic. Alicia, Alyssa. I think I got it right that second time because I'm bad, and I keep forgetting, even after all this time. They are doing more promotional cards with Godzilla on it for Ikoria in Magic, so it's weird. But they've got a companion on 4 of the creatures, so I think these have to be part of some of the. They're the hybrid color cards. They're all legendaries, and I'm guessing that they're going to be part of the special decks they put out, because the companion says your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana cost. For one of them, your starting deck contains cards that convert mana cost of 3 or greater, and land cards. Companion: each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. Each non-land card in your starting deck shares a card type. What the hell does this mean? If this card is your chosen companion, you may cast it once from outside the game. Oh, it's stupid.
Oh, it's stupid.
Okay, so what I glean from this is, if you build a deck to one of these specifications, you can choose one of these to be your companion, and then you can cast it from outside the game. So, yes.
Yeah.
Which is basically like playing Commander without being Commander.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I mean, there have definitely been outside the game stuff before. The Wish series that I think we're back in the Onslaught block, I believe. That you, like, exiled them to get a card from outside the game.
Yeah.
And the thing is, those are usually really banned, restricted, kind of put off to the side that people don't want you using them very much, if at all. These are kind of weird. I mean, the other thing I have to say about this set is they've got really weird combination of creature types. Dinosaur Hippo, Demon Kraken, Elemental Otter.
Hey, nothing beats the Elemental Otter.
Dinosaur Cat Nightmare. Cat Nightmare Beast. Elemental Dinosaur Cat.
I think a crazy cat lady helped design this.
Yes. There's a lot of dinosaurs mixed with other stuff. Dinosaur Turtle. I'm like, what have things been breeding with and why?
Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've been mutating with other things.
Oh my god. They have a pangolin. They actually have a pangolin creature type. I don't know if they had that before.
That's different.
Oh god. No, yeah, the weird, like, level of creature types just, it caught me.
I think it's because of the mutate stuff. Like, things are mutating, and creating these weird things. I think that's what it's supposed to be in the storyline.
No, and that makes sense. It makes sense a lot. This is a set that actually, like, when we talk about it, I'd be interested to see if they do a plane shift for it to D&D. Because this would be a very strange world, like, of like, giant monsters kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting. We haven't really seen one since Dominaria, because they published the Ravenous book. They're going to put out a Theros book, with Theros being one that's been visited multiple times. I feel like this one, they can't really get away with a single book for it. They're going to have to just, either put out the PDF or not have it, unfortunately.
Right.
I don't know. I gotta say, like, this set as it is starting out weird at this point, and I'm curious as to how it will go.
Weird but interesting.
That's true. And the last thing the last one of these entire things about the set is that one of the cards is getting a change, because it was months ago where they finalized Lair of the Beast, and the Corona has taken on a different word. Because of the current pandemic that's going on, and Space Godzilla Death Corona, because technically he had a Corona beam was his attack, is what it was called. That was what it was translated into.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to fly right now.
Mm-hmm. So the initial printing of Ikoria will arrive on shelves soon, and the card will be part of the set. But the card will be removed or changed when possible. All reprints will remove that card. They'll be renaming the card on Magic the Gathering Arena to Space Godzilla Void Invader, and Magic Online will be offering a special Space Godzilla series monster versions of cards only in treasure chests, and will not distribute this card. It's a special version of Void Beckoner, so Void Beckoner will not change.
I mean, the one thing, it'll make it a super rare card.
Yeah. I mean, geez.
That'll drive up that price. So if you get one...
It's like little things like that I don't even think about. That, like, yeah. It's unfortunate that people feel bad about this stuff when it's a different meaning of the word. Yeah, the sun might offend someone. Exactly. because the sun has a corona. Yeah, it's actually kind of stupid.
Yeah, but we live in a PC culture.
Unfortunately. And I understand why it's kind of moving away, but the art for, context is really great that we don't have this. But the thing is, it's also called Death Corona, and I think that's like...
Yeah, it is a little bit like...
I can understand why they're doing it. I don't know if I would have personally, but it's like, again, it's like one of those things that, like, it's the months' times between changes and stuff of when they finalize stuff and what's going on.
Considering some of the bad publicity they've had with some of the novels and stuff, they're probably just trying to play it safe.
Oh no, that's what I definitely assume. Because of the backlash in the War of the Spark, the final novel, that people hated that book so much.
Yeah,
because of
so
all
I think
with it.
They're just trying to play it safe and make sure that, they don't piss more people off.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't blame them for that.
No, it's that weird thing of, like, you can't really blame them. You understand it, but it's also like, you've already done it? Okay. For those of you that are unaware, though, because, not all of you are, War of the Spark, it's Forsaken, the last book in the Magic the Gathering. That's actually the last novel, the latest Magic the Gathering novel line, and it might be the last novel in a while, that they just rekindled it and murdered it. 3 seconds. Not that bad. What they did is they took a character who had been reflected as, probably, I would say, homosexual, and turned them straight, or sort of bisexual, I would say. It was like they had these two planeswalkers that were women that had a relationship they had built, a very nice, like, kind of quiet relationship they'd been building, that they were together. And then the one character they had in the storyline that it was just a phase. Which is very rude to, like, and the thing is, like, I don't know why they did that. Because, like, I liked the relationship the two had with them. It seemed like an actual real relationship that they had. They didn't, like, go out, like, having, like, freaking... But also, like, they took a TV screenwriter and had them write this book. And it shows, because the book is awfully very poorly written. And to say, all the storylines apparently in it were bad, because none of them seemed to fit with the characters they were using. Or because
the person probably didn't do their research.
Oh, I'm sure. In the sides, again, it was also not researched, probably not given enough time to do the book, and was given a list of things he had to do. Right. So it's like, you only have a certain amount of time to figure out all this. These are what I have to do to shoe into this. And again, TV writing and novel writing, completely different things. They took a screenwriter for television shows, and we're like, here, write a novel.
Yeah. Kind of a weird choice to begin with.
Oh god, weird. But regardless, though, they've had some problems with things like this over the past couple of, I don't know, this year, I'd say. There have been other, like, choices they've made which people reflect badly on. Not, like, as bad as this one, but a lot of their weird choices for, like, putting out some premium content and stuff like that in weird ways. That people look at them and like, are you trying just to steal all our money? And, you just don't care about us anymore? Kind of things like that. But regardless, though, it's understandable that they're hooding for this one. So
yeah.
We'll have to see this change, and it will be there briefly, and then it'll disappear. I mean, again, it's probably going to go up in price a lot. It is not like a super great card, because it is technically just an uncommon that has, a fancy coat of paint.
Right. But because of there's going to be a very limited printing of it, it's going, and it's almost like a mistake card in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go up in price.
They are putting out an ebook for this set, though, when we're talking about novels. They're not printing an actual physical book. So there is a Ikoria layer of Behemoth's Sundered Bonds. So that'll be neat.
Cool. Hopefully they will get someone who's an actual writer to write it.
I don't know. I can't... Do they tell us who... Django Rexler.
I was going to say Fett.
It could have been. Django Rexler. Django Rexler graduated in creative writing and computer science. I don't know if he has any writing experience. It doesn't say if he does or not. It just gives like a life biography here on the Amazon page for it, which doesn't help me. It doesn't reassure me that they're getting actual writers like they did for the short stories.
Oh, no, he does. I just went to his website.
Okay. Yeah, he does books.
Yeah.
American fantasy author. So they got a fantasy author. Okay, great. I'm fine with that then. I'm just hoping that like they didn't shoehorn too many story points in and they gave him enough time.
Yeah, he has 4 different series going on. He has the Well of Sorcery, Shadow Campaigns, Forbidden Library, and John Golden.
Yep. And I mean, like, I feel like they're doing a pretty good job of, like, they have, like, a core idea of this kind of... they're still doing the Gatewatch without doing the Gatewatch kind of thing. Because they used War of the Spark to expand the Gatewatch group to be very large. They can then go, like, to individuals going off on their own adventures that are, like, they're your good guys, in a way, without having to be, like, you know, directly in a storyline. Because we have Vivian in this one, who was introduced in War of the Spark, you know, as she's very, like, yay animals, I guess.
The animals.
Mm-hmm. But anyway. So, Ikoria, it's... We'll have to keep an eye out for more. I don't know if we're going to see any more abilities. We've seen the Companion, the Mutate, and cycling as a mechanic again. I mean, cycling always has had its...
Yeah.
And the new counters.
It cycles in and out.
Cycling is always a popular one, because the idea of discarding a card to get something, you know, it always puts a big...
It's an interesting thing, because it's like, oh, well, this isn't useful right now. I'll get something, hopefully, that's more useful for me at the moment.
Yep, definitely. So, yeah, it's neat, and glad to see, like, we got some good views of things for it right now. The set, I can't say it's shaping up good, because we're very early on in, like, what they're showing off, and it's really, like, we're trying to pick up what special things that they have in the set.
Right.
So, and for those of you who are new or haven't been back in a while, I have bronchitis. I've had it since January, so don't mind my coughing.
Mind his coughing.
Uh-huh.
Destroy his coughing.
It's better than it was in January. It just never goes away. Also,
it's the cough that'll never end.
I probably don't take enough medication for it, but that's I'm terrible taking care of myself. So, anyway,
you never.
Let's move on though, because we do have a couple more topics to handle. Let's talk about the Shadowrun coloring book. I guess it's not really what it should be called, but that's from its description. That's what it feels like.
Which is weird.
So, in this trying time, Catalyst Games has put out a PD... I don't know if they put out a physical copy. Just because of, like, if they did, it's hard to get physical copies. I think their physical store is closed, so they might put out a physical copy. But for now, PDF of the... They call it the highly anticipated Shadowrun Activity Book. So it is a pay-as-you-wish PDF. So you can pay $0 for it. Good on them on that. You know, since they currently not putting out a physical copy. The book will be available on print-on-demand hard copies in the future. But for now, you can get just a free copy of their 56-page coloring and activity book that has hours of fun.
Who is this geared to? Shadowrun is not really a game for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get who the audience this is for.
Color and do puzzles. Bask in the wonders of the mighty sixth world dystopia.
Exactly. Who is this for?
Tons of classic black and white art that you can bring glorious, colorful life, word searches, crosswords, a bunch of other puzzles. I guess the puzzles can be of a higher level for, like, more adult people. I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, people. I'm not saying adults can't or don't color.
Goddamn motorcycle people.
Yes, but it just seems like a very odd thing to do with the Shadowrun property.
Oddly enough, well, it's not their only one that they have, because they, like, seeing on Drive Through RPG, they also have a BattleTech activity book where it's giant mech battles. You can color do puzzles about giant mech battles.
Who are they creating these things for?
I wasn't going to talk about one of the things, too, but this is, like, the weirdest point in time, because there is a third one of the free digital versions of these things, because I saw it on Steve Jackson's website. They have a Munchkin alphabet coloring book. This is the only one I could pass off as being maybe for kids.
Munchkin, I could say could be for kids, because that can be an all-age thing.
It has a very cartoony feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
I mean, hell, even the first year we did PAX, and I did the Munchkin tournament. On Kids Day, they had a kids Munchkin tournament going on. So, you know, that I can understand. But Shadowrun?
Yeah, and BattleTech.
And BattleTech? Those really aren't geared for children.
Not at all.
What are they smoking?
I don't know. I'm not willing to pay them anything for this, because I don't think it's for me, but I'm getting it just to see it. If it's really good, maybe I will pay them some money for it.
You can let your niece draw it.
I might order it again.
Here, draw some blood and gore for me.
The only thing about Shadowrun is at least it doesn't tend to have, like, a lot of, like, blood and gore, as you'd say.
Yeah, you know,
I know.
I was being facetious, but yes.
Let's take a look at it here. Now, I had to get it. Welcome to the Sixth World Activity Book. Let's have some fun. It's got a brief history. It's got some artwork from some of the older books, definitely, that you can, like, give some a great dragon, escape the black ice, like a little maze, more art. God, no, this is not like children's art. Word search. Oh God, oh my God, a word search for slang. Look for Shadowrun lingo from the list.
This is for adults, then.
Yeah. Sixth World Word Search, a crossword, like, again, like, it is more classic art, but it feels like, I don't know, it feels like something in between. It feels like something that should be more kids, but it's not. There's a Sudoku in here, too. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, there are plenty of adults that do color and stuff like that, so adults could enjoy it. It's just an odd thing.
Very. It is a very odd thing. So, I don't know.
But, I mean, you can get it for free.
You could pay them something.
You can pay them whatever if you want to pay them something, you know, which is always nice to do. I'm not saying just take the freebie, but
it's...
You could at least get it and decide, hey...
Am I getting my money's worth on this one?
And I like this, and I'll throw a few bucks to them.
I'm gonna get this Munchkin coloring book, too, because I'm here right now, and it is also free. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with these, but I will add it to my list of weird downloads.
Well, you definitely can let your niece draw in a Munchkin one.
If I wanted to print it out. Our printer is not good enough to print it out right now, I would say. Maybe in the future. But, yeah, no, this is And the thing is, all of these came out around now.
Well, they realize people are home and are trying to find things to do.
Yeah.
It's just interesting choices of these companies of, hey, color with our project, our more adult-themed product.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say about this Munchkin one is I feel like for the age that it should be for, because it is just looking through it, it is a letters spelling one. It doesn't quite feel up for that. It just feels like this is a little bit more than a 3 or 4-year-old would understand where most of it is. And some of it I'm not sure, some of the in-jokes and stuff, there's a scene with booze and stuff.
Well, it could be also with that, it could be that it's supposed to be for your kid and the parent.
I mean, there's
something for you to do together.
W has weapons. It's got a gun with kill, kill, kill on it, and a knife and a grenade, and it's very. As much as I don't think you need to hide a lot of stuff from kids. This just feels like it's a little off still too.
Yeah, it's some odd choices, definitely.
Yeah, the Munchkin one. As I just looked over it there, I'm like, ooh, yeah, you're a little different from what I would have wanted you to be, to make it more appropriate.
Right.
Just a little off. Especially because they're going for much younger, because it's an alphabet book, too. I know.
A, B, C, D, D is for death.
M's for murder.
Murder, death, kill.
Now we're talking Demolition Man.
Yeah, I know. I had to throw that in there because we had murder and death, and I'm like, we gotta have kill. We got the
murder,
MDK.
Death, kill. Murder,
death, kill. MDK? We haven't had an MDK in years.
God damn it!
Please approach the assailant with a stern voice.
Wasn't it Maniac? Yeah. Please approach Maniac and
with and in a stern voice, tell him to lay down on the ground. And in even a sterner voice,
repeat and then add or else.
God,
look, we both love Demolition Man because it is 90s glory.
I still want to know how to use the 3 seashells.
We'll never know. It is still Sylvester Stallone in his heyday. We brought up last week when we were talking about the Judge Dredd RPG. Look, we've got
Sylvester Stallone and oh god, I can't think of the guy's name. The villain.
Oh
no, Wesley Snipes. I'm thinking Judge Dredd though.
Oh, I don't remember the villain in Judge who he was.
It was supposed to be his brother, and I can't think of the actor's name.
Oh yeah. I can't remember that at all. I did remember it was it's supposed to be his brother.
It wasn't Van Damme. God, who the hell was it?
Now I have to look it up, and this is the second week in a row we have to look up Judge Dredd. There is the one with Sylvester Stallone. Armin Asante.
I thought it was
as Rico Dredd.
Yeah, Rico, but not Suave. Okay, I thought he was someone else then.
Yeah, because there were other characters. Diane Lane was in that one as the female judge.
Yeah, and of course he had Rob Schneider.
Yeah. I don't know if he's done anything great in a while.
He's always the comic relief character. And I'm sure he's done stuff on Netflix because Adam Sandler's done stuff on Netflix and he always adds in Rob Schneider.
Good point. Good point. I was like, has he done anything in a while since he'd like destroyed his career with really awful movies? And the answer was, he's been with probably others people. No, I mean, like, there's a couple of movies in the list here. Now that I had to look that up using the Judge Dredd to reference it. So he does stuff. But anyway.
He did something this year with David Spade on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Lights Out with David Spade.
And there's a movie that he's in with starring Adam Sandler that he's in.
Yes, because, like I said, Adam Sandler puts him in every movie he does.
Uh-huh. Which, I guess it has to be announced when it's coming out, but still.
Yeah.
Is
that the...
Hubby Halloween.
Hubby Halloween, yeah. I see post-production.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a Netflix special thing.
They haven't said, actually. Oh, no, it was distributed by Netflix, so it was another... Adam Sandler does a bunch of Netflix movies, so, yeah.
That's pretty much where his career is now.
I mean, Netflix produces his movies, good for them, and some of them are, like... I guess, like, from what I've heard, they are at least closer to some of his older work, you know, in stuff. Not like, his worst things, but at least, you know, finding a place for your work. But anyway, we got distracted.
I think we're going to move on to the next one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This was just coloring book stuff, pretty much.
That's the wrong thing. Why did you
So I think we're going to Conan.
Yeah. The Wanderer. Man of Bravery.
The Wanderer.
So, it's a Conan book. We haven't had one in a while that we get to talk about Conan finding yet another job. Because...
Conan! The man of many jobs, expert at none.
It seems like he is. He was a pirate, a thief... Probably an assassin, a barbarian at one point in time.
So, does this mean that he's pretty much like a barbarian bard because he has jack of all trades?
He's a barbarian.
He just needs to summon a lute and beat you with it.
See, he tells epic tales. That's his thing. So he doesn't do the lute summoning.
He actually has never done any of these adventures. These are just things that he's telling people.
He is technically a Gestalt class from 3.5, so he's an actual barbarian. So he gets the best of being a bard and a barbarian at the same time. Because he
multi-classed into everything.
He has unusual charisma that you're like, how does he have that? And he also, like, he can grunt and people will just be like, oh! Like, the women will just be like, oh, Conan!
No, he just flexes.
Oh, that's right. It's like, Seduction check.
Makes his next dance.
Mm-hmm. Seduction check. Yes. Alright, anyway. They're heading east in Hyboria. It's a central guide to the exotic kingdoms of the east. It's not really explored by Conan a lot in his lifetime, just a little bit. It has the Hyboria is supposed to have a wide variety of countries and stuff, and like I guess the author Ziz, because the original author was long since dead, and the books have come out since then.
New character archetypes. You know, I've been so much wanting to play a beggar or a vagabond. Yes. How did they know? Or a court official.
I feel like similar to how Star Trek is a very open-ended system that you don't really like go into a specific class. I think that's what it is. And when they're putting the archetypes, they're adding like a this is your background kind of thing to it.
I know, it's just kind of funny. It's like, hey, you want to be a beggar?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the break where the line for horse nomad is, one line is horse, the other line is nomad. So
I don't get that. You can be a horse or a nomad.
Or a nomad. I want to be a horse.
Afghanistan. Really? Really? Someone put that name as the Raging Rocky Hills of Afghanistan.
Why
really?
not?
Really, Robert E. Howard? Really? This is me looking directly at you, Robert E. Howard, and I'm just, oh my god, they are really doing like really weird like names. There's Iranistan. Then there's other ones which are like just weird, like which sound more fantasy-y, like I guess
Kolasa or Kosala,
Ventia,
Kahiti,
Kahati,
Kahate,
Hyrakane, kinda.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, Gulistan and Iranistan.
Mm-hmm. Well, they say up
All
top
the
of the
stands are here.
I know, God. Secrets of Mount Yishmor and the Fearsome Black Circle, the Denizen of Yag, which are worshipped as God, which sound like something. I swear, Denizen of Yag sounds like something out of Lovecraft. But weren't Howard and Lovecraft like pals or something? Or was it a different writer that I'm thinking about?
I'm not sure.
Now I'm like curious. I mean,
I just wonder how much more Conan stuff they could produce.
You know, it's a good question. Oh, there was a correspondence between Lovecraft and Howard. So, yes, the denizens of Yog might definitely be, like, Cthulhuian, or, like, Lovecraftian influenced.
Wait. As a court official, you get a set of courtly garments, embroidered, elaborate denoting, elaborate hat, street clothing, paper and writing instruments, seal and ink for your office, and ceremonial one-handed weapon of your choice.
Okay, so I think it's been a while since they put it out because they were running out of material and places to visit, and they kind of say things like, it's exploring these far-off lands. They took Conan, like popular Conan artists that have done stuff for his like stuff and done that. And then the thing is that they said here is that they took the people that are like scholars of the world that like he put together in his writing, and have basically like expanded upon what he said about these places. Like, I'm thinking Howard, because this is like a very unexplored, Howard basically gave little blibs about this place, and then they're like, we're expanding on those blibs. So
yes, and they're visiting Asia basically.
Yeah, even though it's east in Hyboria, because Hyboria is, I guess.
Well, it says they're visiting the east, but if you look at the artwork and everything, it's Asia.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have some Asian feel for some of the places. Characters of the east. Yeah, like the horse nomad looks very Mongolian. The mystic looks very like someone from India. Emissary and court official from like China and that region.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely feels like it's the that the East in Hyboria is supposed to be like the Asian countries and stuff like that, or like Middle East to Asia. I would say.
God,
is the Middle East technically part of Asia? Yes, it is.
Yes, and I hate my brain because I just thought of a quote from a very, very bad movie. East meets West.
Oh God.
I'm
forgetting the movie.
Wild Wild West.
Oh.
When he meets the one Asian female character. And she's like, I'm blah, 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 East. And, he's something West, and it's like, East meets West. I'm like, really?
Okay, it's Jim West, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Wild Wild West is a movie. It has a giant mechanical spider because the person wanted a giant mechanical spider in one movie, and he was gonna get.
Well, he wanted a giant spider in the Superman movie that never happened. So he finally got his giant spider in a mechanical version in that.
I think that guy still denies that he really pushed forward that spider idea, even though, like, literally in the next movie he produced had a giant mechanical spider. So it's like, you wanted a spider. You can't deny it. You can pretend that you're like, I didn't add in a spider, so there was a rewrite to add a Thanagarian snare beast, I think it was called.
Yes, it was. That, and also Superman could not wear a cape or fly.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't think that was masculine.
Well, the flying part, at least, it does taper back to the original stuff that they had.
Yes, that he could leap taller than
a building. Yeah, he didn't fly.
Building,
yeah. Leap tall building is a single bound.
Single bound, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the not flying, if they wanted to do that, I would not argue with them. It doesn't match the modern incarnations of it, but like...
Well, and they kind of did that with the newer Superman. That, like, when he was first learning his powers, he was jumping really far than truly flying at first. So they kind of, hinted back at that.
Yeah. But... Anyway.
But that's Conan.
That's Conan, yeah. We haven't seen one in a while. It's neat to see another one. Like, I was curious if they were going to do more, and the answer was yes, they were. I guess it's just that they're they are probably running low on material. I can't deny that, like, they've kind of explored most of Hyboria at this point in time, so you really can't expand the world.
And he's had every job imaginable.
Really has.
I mean, what's next? Conan in space?
The fact is, if there was something that would pertain to it in one of the Conan books, even like a sentence, I'm sure they would go that far. There's definitely a couple of like, I think about it and I'm like, I can't say that they wouldn't go places, because this is, again, like, this is expanding on very loose material that was created, Maybe there is more stuff like this that Howard put together that they could use to still come up with a book or two.
Conan, Nazi hunter.
Now you're going too far, because that would be Turok.
Time travel.
That would be Turok, because everyone knows Turok goes to that, like, lost land where everything ends up then, because he fought in one of the video games Tobias Bruckner, the cyborg Confederate soldier on top of a dinosaur.
That makes my brain hurt.
Look, just because I know about the Tobias Bruckner.
On that note, Devil's Run?
Yes. Oh, he hated Native Americans, Tobias Bruckner. That's cyborg Confederate soldier. Anyway, yeah, one more RPG to talk about today, and that is, of course, Devil's Run. Let's see if this just makes it easy, and I can just... No, now it wants to go to that page. Yep, no, I don't want to be on that page. Thank you for...
That person's face bothers me.
I can see why. It is a little unusual.
He has, like, almost no lips.
Yeah, they don't really show lips on that guy. I can see that. It
looks just really weird. Sorry, it distracted me. I'm just like...
Well, I'm trying to, like, get this actual page up, and it's like... No, it's fighting me. For whatever reason, it won't let me highlight the Devil's Run core book game. It's stuck on my other browser page, not the separate one I use for images. So we're not getting an image of the Devil's Run, people, because technical issues that I don't know how to fix.
Let me see if I can grab one for you.
Well, no, well, I'm just trying to, like, quickly, like... Okay, I got it, finally. I got it to work.
Okay. I was going to put it in Discord for you, and you could have...
That would have been just as difficult because I can't get into Discord unless I interrupt the video.
Oh, right. Sorry.
But it might catch a little bit. Yeah, it got a little bit at the bottom. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, for whatever reason, like the browser that I was using, that it used to catch images from their pages and stuff, it OBS didn't want to capture that one. It wanted to keep capturing the one I used for reference information. Two windows for different reasons. Anyway, so Devil's Run. It's Mad Max, the RPG. I guess that's the best way of saying it. You're in a post-apocalyptic future where gang warfare dominates. Rules of the road are none. What would you kill for? What would you die for? How are you willing to survive? It's Mad Max without being actual Mad Max.
It's a 2D20 system.
Well, again, most of Modiphius are.
Yeah.
Devil's Run. I want to see if there was any other...
It includes a brief history detailing the collapse of civilization as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Section from before the launch that started it all to the current state of the world 20 years later. Detailed description of the former West Coast, including descriptions of several larger factions, a battle.
Now this seems to be based on a popular board game from 2016 called Devil's Run Route 666. So I think that's where originally the inspiration seems to have come from, as I trace this back and try to, figure out the entire thing. Yeah, so 2D20 system, history of the collapsed civilization. I think you were saying that. Current state, 20 years later. I focus West Coast, so California. What? No Australia? But
no Australia.
But I want to be Mad Max. But they're like, no, you can't be because we're not licensing that.
And they have one of the maps they show in the previews is San Francisco faction territory zones.
They do have an overworld of the world at large, the few remaining superpowers that strive for dominance over the rapidly dwindling resources. So it's not like... I guess it's setting in a place where things have completely collapsed, but there are still, bastions of civilization left in places that, some of the superpowers have retained control. Maybe they're just, more military forces than anything, I would guess, in order to maintain control in a situation like this. Toolkit for vehicles, weapons, and gear designed by the characters out of this post-apocalyptic future. And tips for creating runs and stuff. So, I mean, it's neat to have, your post-apocalyptic gang warfare stuff. Yeah, San Francisco. Okay, there's the law, justice, Brit Attack, and the HA. Hall's
Right, Angels. But then it also goes to... There's the Free, the Teams, the Vikeries. Mm-hmm. AG, which looks like some weird, maybe Australian. It looks almost like a Canadian leaf.
Yeah.
I don't... And then I can't make out the other one.
Yeah, it's interesting. It
looks like a CD with wings.
Oh,
and then the 7 something.
Yeah.
I really never watched Mad Max, so I don't know anything about the world.
I haven't seen Mad Max in quite a while, but that was an apocalyptic where everything dried out and it was a battle. Water was the critical thing that was of importance.
Jets and 7 fires.
I mean, I think Mad Max is not the only one to do a dystopian driving gang future. They're just the one that comes to mind with most people because it's the commonality one.
And apparently there's zombies because there's mentions of a zombie barricade.
There might be. I don't know. We don't know how the things will kind of add up. So, God, you know, it's an interesting world. I can say that just from the entire thing, a post-apocalyptic, car-focused world, vehicle-focused world. And I don't know how many, beyond, like, sci-fi spaceship kind of games, I don't know how many vehicle-focused RPGs there actually are out there. Like, most vehicle-focused RPGs tend to be like, it's a sailing ship and you're pirates, or it's a spaceship and you're space travelers. There doesn't seem to be that, like, car, open road kind of thing, ever. Because most modern games usually have, like, some other kind of genre. And, like, this is, like, technically that's the post-apocalyptic genre, but most of the post-apocalyptic genres usually focus on, like, exploration and survival, and this is more like gang bloodshed. So.
Yeah.
So, anyway, no. It's an interesting one. Devil's Run, the core book, is, of course, available in PDF form now. When Modiphius's shipments begin in May again, you can expect, if you want to order it physically then, you can order it physically then. So you will have to wait till May if you want to get this book physically, and just place your order now, because as the Modiphius says, the order at which things were placed, they will be filled. So, I think that's it for the main topics. I think we can put that down there. Just because we don't have a lot today. Let us hit up our regular segments then, because every week we have a number of regular segments. Which, okay, I gotta say, I was speaking Turok there. Just as like a side note, I get the Humble Bundle / Humble Choice now, and one of the games in there is one of the original Turoks that you can get on Steam, and I'm like, I think that's why it came to mind with Tobias Bryan and stuff. I don't know if even that's the one that has him, but so we don't have a deeper discussion for you today. We do. Do you have a Kickstarter for us?
Yes, I managed to find something because, God, people were producing Corona stuff left, right, and center. And
oh, joy!
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm trying to avoid that. Yeah. Like Corona survival games, and I'm like, yeah,
that sounds kind of awful.
But I found this Soundtail, sound and music app for D&D and Pathfinder. So they're at $2,768 out of their $3,241 goal. Mm-hmm. And they still have 27 days left to go. So they look like they're definitely going to make goal. It's a music and sound app for D&D and Pathfinder.
Cool.
There are more than 15 musical moods, 32 prepared adjustable sound environments. Yeah, they do also do room, like ambient sound too. Mm-hmm. Additional atmosphere that can be created and saved. Playable sounds for events in the session. No goddamn ads, quote unquote. It'll be ready in August. Early access will be in June. And it's not much. It looks like it's coming from England because everything's in... Or is that pounds? No, that's not pounds, is it? What is that?
Sorry. That
Euros.
Is...
I'm sorry, euros.
Euros. Okay.
So it's European. My brain's weak today. So, fine. I mean, you can get... for a basic pledge of €5, which is maybe like $6, you can get the app for get the Android app, digital wallpaper and photos, and stretch goals. For €10, you can get your name included in the credits as well. 15, you can get a beta key. 18, your name in the credits and a beta key, and then it jumps up to $59 which you also get play a one-shot with the programmers. And then there's the 200-pound mark, which is insane. You get play the one-shot, tavern song about you in the app.
Wow.
Immortalize your character as a sound.
And
everything else above. There was a $40 and $60 pledges, but they are all gone.
I'm actually surprised that 200-pound or more one. 2 of them are actually gone out of 3 that they were planning on doing.
Yeah.
So people have gone for that one. That's neat.
But you can get in on it relatively cheap. It's always nice to have ambient music or sounds and stuff to enhance your game, and it's a cool way you can do it.
Yeah. I actually realized I have one to mention because I kind of mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but it went live. Schism, a fast-paced tabletop skirmisher game that is done by a number of friends of mine. They started a company. Olorant, who did a lot of the art for this channel. This entire background that you see now, Ollie did this art for me long ago. And he is the main artist and one of the creative people behind it. Will and Graham, who I do a lot of stuff with, Dungeon Papa, Josiah. I only play some games offline with him, but like he does some stuff with Will, and they are like I think there's one more.
Mallory Smith.
Oh, Zero Doxing. She's like their wordsmith, I would say, for Arcanus Entertainment. But this is their baby. I forgot that it was Doxy is the other big one on it.
I just looked at the team on near the bottom, and it mentions all 4 of their actual names.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really glad that they ended up doing this kind of thing. It's really cool. It's a kind of... It is a miniatures game, but it is like a in-the-box miniatures game. So it's not like as overwhelming as like Warhammer or something. Because I think they were inspired because I know Ollie loves Warhammer. If you ever follow him on Twitter, he does a lot of Warhammer painting. As an artist, I'm glad he can do that. Because that seemed like 2 different skills, like drawing art and then also painting something seemed like different skills, but I guess they are not. Maybe it's just all being artistic. Anyway, their Kickstarter went live. It's got 2 months. They just started on April 1st. It's just started. It's only got a few backers. So I want to give it a shout out and say, like, if you see this, go ahead and check it out. They got some great rewards. You can get the game itself or some other things. But, definitely, I am talking about getting at least Will and maybe if one other on to talk about this, maybe, one of these weeks.
Cool.
So that would be very cool. As someone that's like, this is like interesting because this is people starting up a tabletop company. We've talked to people after they've started it. This is like the preliminary, like this is a company that they're trying to form kind of thing. And I'm interested to hit into and discuss with people about that. It's an interesting place to look at. But
right.
Anyway, how about our week in tabletop? We can talk about that. We did some things in tabletop this week.
Well, we did more one-shot. Well, not really one-shot, but small campaign.
Yeah, we did a single adventure. It's not really a one-shot because it's an adventure that shouldn't be too long, but like things happen. We did the White Plume in the mountain, White Plume Mountain in Book of the Yawning Portal. we
just got shot out of a geyser.
Yeah. They explored a little bit more, fought a werewolf spellcaster, killed her and her boyfriend, got through
those kind of things.
Fought a giant crab, pierced a balloon that was keeping boiling death water out from you. It was pouring in.
And then our friend ditched us who did it.
Mm-hmm. But then we had his character do a Deus Ex Machina and convert to a sea god, so one of you didn't have to, so he could pick up the trident and go, I have the power to save us all.
Yes.
Create a bubble around you. Bubble floated because it's a bubble of force with air in it. Floated in the water. Eventually got into where it got shot out of the volcano. You landed outside of the volcano. Now you just have to wander back in. Again.
Yeah. But we don't have to go past the damn Kelpies again.
No, you can ignore the Kelpies completely.
Yeah. So, yay for that.
That old chestnut of success. It's like, yay, we succeeded. Ugh, we succeeded.
Hey, only one of us got charmed by it, but it was enough to be a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm. So, it was interesting.
Yes.
And then, I don't remember what day it was, but I did end up,
Last Sunday?
it wasn't last Sunday. There was one of the nights this week I played, I think it was Will invited me to play some tabletop sim at like 11 o'clock at night. So I'm like, yay, late at night. All the people I know that I could probably grab are asleep. West Coast boys. So I joined the West Coast boys, and we did some Mysterium, and we did, which Will really loves Mysterium. I can't complain about that one. We've done it a few times with our one friend who owns the game. The one where it's, like Clue and Dixit had a baby.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And then we did I convinced them to do a game of Knights and Cities of for Catan, because I haven't done that forever. That was fun, even though I lost horribly at that one. And I think we won the Mysterium. I can't remember.
Woo!
And then Monday we did not do Pathfinder 2nd edition because
No, we ended up talking.
I really should look for someone outside of our group to join, and I should just remember maybe tomorrow or this afternoon or something to just message people.
Well, also we have to see if our one person messaged our other friend, who was kind of part of our group at times.
Or like physical in-person group. He was for a while until he moved. So, I mean, well, there's a couple others that like I could try to get our one friend who's living in Texas, and I could even try to hit up our friend that's living on the West Coast, because, I mean, I don't know how he's working online and stuff in his timing, but 8 o'clock, which is 5 o'clock for him, might work. Good old Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could hit up some other people and maybe see. But anyway, that's the amazing adventures of Pathfinder. And then I didn't do Records of Evil because one of us didn't get free until too late, unfortunately. Something happened. Nothing major, just it got delayed. But I did do Legacies of Kain, in which they had an epic fight with a very powerful Lasombra with the help of a very powerful Nosferatu. And they had this epic duel, and they managed to win. But they got the shit beat out of them. One of them is in Topor for a month. The person they were fighting with got like 6 levels of aggravated damage, so he was at like 1 health.
Oh god.
Yeah. Well, they were fighting someone that had used the like power. They combined like 4 different powers to turn themselves into like a living tank. Because they used a bunch of obtenebration powers to create like armors of like an armor of shadow. Had like these horrible tentacles that after they attacked also got an attack in. They had potence and celerity then, and some fortitude. So they're like and then they used like the protean to glow claws, so they did ag damage with their claws. So like aggravated attack, lethal attack, aggravated attack, lethal attack. It was just unpleasant. It was just an unpleasant fight, and they managed to get through it. Barely. But they did. And then, yeah. And then we had Children of Wrath on Thursday.
Yes, we did.
You folks are now in the Under the Sea. You headed to a merfolk city. And met with the merfolk military, which doesn't really take kindly to you pertainingly, but they're like semi-tolerant of you.
Yes. Well, especially 2 of us.
Well,
me and Max.
You, because like the original reason was because it's like goddamn crazy magic users that do just crazy crap. Because they're.
I explained, no, I'm actually just naturally a shapeshifter.
That's worse.
Yeah.
And the undead, which is worse.
Yeah.
untrustworthy shape changer, and undead, which has malice against the living.
Well, he doesn't, though.
Yes, but 99% of undead actually do.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying he's a good one.
He is one of the exceptions to the rule. He is like... He's not the only exception to the rule, I can say, but he is one of the very few exceptions to the rule. There aren't many. So, yeah. Fun with merfolk, and you're heading on your way to Slinvoda, the merfolk city on the back of Leviathan.
Yes.
So fun times there. Oh, and that was about our week in tabletop, I believe.
Yeah. I think that covers everything. I unfortunately, other than playing Kingmaker,
it sort of counts as tabletop something. You've been enjoying Kingmaker. It's Pathfinder.
Oh yeah. It's good. The only complaint I have is either do initiative with a turn-based system or do live action fighting. Don't try to combine both. It's weird and makes the controls a little bit clunky.
What are you talking about? It's a perfect idea to combine the two of them. Genius. No.
But other than that, I mean, the story and everything is really good. The voice acting's great. So I've been enjoying it for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty accurately based on the Kingmaker adventure path, so it's like they do take these adventure paths and make them to big adventures, which does make sense in a way. So
yeah.
You're probably still in the Stolen Lands, Adventure 1.
Yes. I'm only level 2 right now.
Yeah, you'll probably be like 4 or 5 before you get to Red River Run, which is the second one. Now that I'm looking them up.
And I've got my butt kicked a few times and was like, yeah, I'm not high enough level for things yet.
No, you totally are. You're fine. You can deal
random
with it.
manticore attack.
Manticore? Did it burst through a wall and yell its name?
No, I did not. I have avoided fighting that. There's an area that one of the side quests you get is to go fight it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not ready for that. I'm not going to attempt it. But there was one area that if you find a campsite, and if you sleep there, a freaking demi-lich appears after you're finished resting.
That's helpful.
Yeah. I had to reload the game and just be like, yeah, I'm not resting there ever.
But you could have taken it.
Oh god, it wiped my party out very quickly. I looked things up if you get disenchant and stuff, because it apparently has a bunch of AC enhancements that you can get rid of. It's not that hard of a fight. That, and also, not having to worry about fear, because it keeps that, and also it does electricity damage. That's pretty powerful. So if you can avoid those kind of things and debuff it, apparently it's not that hard of a fight. It's just you really have to prepare for it. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not going to sleep there. How's that?
No. It's okay. Trust it. It's a friend. I will devour your soul.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, it actually does have soul devouring powers. So if you die to it, it will kill you. It kills your character completely.
Yes, the demi-lich. God.
So yeah, I'm just like, no, not dealing with it. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this week then. I think that's a good place to end it here. We didn't have a very busy schedule for things to talk about. So if you're looking for us to be back, we'll be back next week to talk about more tabletop stuff, more topics and more things like that.
I'll see everyone tomorrow for Grinding Gears.
Yep, the game you run on this channel here, which I'm a player on, so check that out. If you're looking for more RPG stuff, we should be doing Records of Evil Legacies of Cain on Tuesday. And then Children of Wrath on Thursday. Those are on the schedule right now. Other gaming stuff, I'll probably do Stellaris, RimWorld, Subnautica at various points in time. I technically might be done 7 days. I keep saying to myself, maybe I'll go back to it, but it's one of those things of like, I played the crap out of it, and I could do all the stuff I wanted to do, but it's just fluff at this point in time. It's like I explored half the map completely. I could explore more sections of the map, which would be neat. Go to some places that, like, I've never been to these buildings and explored them. Neat. What's there? Okay, great. I don't need to. It's that kind of thing. I don't need to do that. It is again, it's fluff.
Right.
I might get back to it at some point in time and finish the fluff, but just if I feel like, if they get a big update that doesn't cause my save to break, maybe. But other than that, yeah, that should be it for today. I hope everybody stays safe and healthy in these times. Stay home, do the best you can, and just living there. If you're looking for more stuff, I will be back in about a half an hour to be on stream with some folks. So I will be streaming here, and there will be a Khadgar link in my Discord and stuff. We're going to be playing Divinity Original Sin 2, where we're role-playing our characters. I got invited to join this, and I said, sure, why not? So
have fun.
Yeah, God, I haven't actually played Divinity Original Sin 2 yet. I keep intending to, but I wanted to play it with people, so this is my first experience of like actually playing it. I only saw someone play through most of the first act, so as far as that goes, I can try to remember some of it from like a year ago. We'll see. Anyway, bye everyone. Have a good one, and we'll see you here next week.
Bye.